Yeah, no, Metropolis is definitely not real. Don't try to Google Earth it. You won't find it. I mean, I
yeah, sure.
I don't want to say I could, but I would, but don't. Just don't try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you'll find nothing.
Really?
Because fucking
Barren wasteland.
Yeah. Doomsday. Fucking asshole. I mean, what?
What?
No, nothing. I don't know Doomsday. I don't read comics. I read newspapers because I work at I work at Mattel. I work at In-N-Out. I don't.
Yeah, Cameron's your best friend, not Jimmy.
No,
Jimmy? Yes.
I've never met a Jimmy in my life.
No.
What are you talking? I don't know why my voice is. I'm super. I'm chill. I'm super chill.
I think those glasses are kind of giving you a false identity.
No. These are to protect my eyes, to protect you in case I sneeze and burn your. In case I look at the screens for too long, I don't
that's what it
fire laser beams. Who has laser beams?
Laser beams, really?
Yeah,
I thought it was more like heat vision.
Who the fuck you been talking to? I am not Clark Kent. I'm not Kent Clark.
I mean, those glasses would fool me.
They did. Because I am Clark Kent. Cue the Superman intro. Alright, so this is take two.
Take two, yeah. We did a whole bit on that, and that's like the abridged version of it,
Yeah, no, I thought the first take was better, but we
it was smooth, yeah, it was great, yeah.
No, that one was smooth too.
No.
Smooth like this heat vision will slice through your flesh. Like butter. See, I imagine Superman just being like sadistic as fuck, just going like, oh, I can fucking just crumble you up like.
I mean, after he basically gets revived, he kind of is like that. Comic nerd over here.
Yeah. I was thinking of somebody else. I was thinking of how Omni-Man thinks. He does that.
Man,
I'll explain to that as later. But he's literally just what you thought right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ants, I can just squish them. You guys are meaningless. Yeah, that's this guy.
I'm not even from here. You guys are ants. I am a god to you.
Well, that's kind of like Loki in Avengers, where he's like.
Well, I mean, Loki literally is a god.
Is he though? Because Thanos kind of squished him.
Yeah, he's a god, but like
he's kind of a bitch.
He's a god.
Really know that though, because we're getting a whole series on him.
Fuck, he's back. He is the god of mischief. Damn it!
Told you, bro. He didn't die. He just went into another dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he died in that dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died and they went back in time and rearranged time and space, and he's now running through time. So.
But if the Avengers did hold on. If the Avengers did not go back in Endgame, Loki would not be alive, no?
True. However, maybe that was a part of Loki's plan the entire time.
Dude, if we get any sort of that in the show, that's going to blow my fucking mind. Like if Loki is that masterful, whoa. Do you guys think that's what's gonna happen?
Yeah, it's gonna open up other dimensions and other worlds and all that, dude. We're gonna see Earth 2, I believe.
Earth 2.
Yeah, well, that's a thing, you know.
That's for sure. I think in DC Comics.
Yeah.
They talk about.
But that's DC.
Yeah, it's DC.
Marvel, they call it Earth 616.
Yeah.
And all the other numbers are just random numbers.
Yeah, random numbers. Yeah, but DC's very OCD and organized, so they have to go 1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
Yeah. For all the basic people who doesn't understand that there's an infinite amount of infinites, so you can just pick a number and it'll work. Yeah.
That's me! Thank you for numbering your streets so I don't get lost. Appreciate it 100%. But dude, that would be so fucking dope, if in the Loki show it reveals that this was somehow a part of his grand scheme.
That'd be crazy.
Is he going to be a villain in this show?
I think he's gonna be an anti-hero.
He's an anti-hero. He's always been depicted as an anti-hero.
Because
at least in my...
I think he has the highs and lows of right? Yeah,
I think he's been an anti-hero in the movie universe. Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think in the comics he's a straight up villain.
Yeah, but in the movie, if we were speaking movies, I agree with you.
I'm speaking movies, that's all.
Yeah, he's an anti-hero in there. And the comics are starting to reflect that because everybody likes him as an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what he's becoming. But, in this I think he's still going to be an anti-hero. He's going to be looking out for himself, but you kind of like the guy.
Yeah.
So I think it is. But it's like...
what's his name? Tom Hiddleston?
Hiddleston?
Hiddleston. It's with an H.
Yes.
Not a K, Cameron. Stop it.
I mean, I'm dyslexic, but shit, you're the one that said it.
You were thinking it.
You said it.
Nah. Shout out to White Chicks. Classic. Classic. I mean, we already did the intro in the first take of this, Happy Campers. But
it's all quiet.
But yeah, it's quiet, so, be happy. Keep strung along.
Yeah.
Did we talk about the Canelo Saunders fight last podcast, or have we not done a podcast since that?
I don't think we have done a podcast since that.
We haven't.
I would be down to talk about that.
Yeah. Did you guys watch it? Did you guys watch highlights at least?
I watched it. I watched the whole fight, man.
Yeah. You're texting me.
I didn't see the fight. I saw the results.
Okay.
I didn't see like how he won or how Canelo won.
Man, he went to work.
I imagine I saw Canelo winning. To be honest, I don't see anyone being able to defeat him other than Mayweather. Yeah. So that's why it didn't surprise me that he won. I just don't know how he won.
Okay, so it was actually a pretty decently competitive fight.
Yeah.
And I expected that.
There was good trades.
Billy Joe Saunders. I expected him to do what he did in the ring.
Yeah.
And
he brought his game.
And he brought it well. And but Canelo, being the fucking best right now, the greatest right now. So what happened was in the 8th round, Billy Joe Saunders has this tendency, and he was doing a lot in the fight, and Canelo picked up on it, and he leaned a little too much like this, ducking on the punches. Yeah. So Canelo figured it out and started throwing this uppercut. And one of them in the 8th round
landed hard.
So it was Billy Joe going like this, and Canelo's uppercut going like this, and face meets fist. Broke his fucking orbital bone.
Oh my god.
He broke his face.
Yeah.
And Billy Joe. Props to Billy Joe for not going down.
No.
He
stuck it out. You can see he was dazed and hurt.
Yes.
But he stuck that shit out.
Yeah, he survived the rest of the round, and Canelo was bringing it to him, man.
And that wasn't even the last 10 seconds of the round.
No,
that was like there was still a minute left in the round.
At least a minute, I want to say. Maybe more.
Maybe a little more.
My memory's a little foggy, but it was definitely the 8th round. And then he goes to the corner, and the corner's like, no more. Because they saw, even Canelo went to his corner and told his men, he's like, oh, he's not going to get up. Because Canelo says he felt his face break.
Right.
Yeah. And, what's interesting is Billy Joe's getting a lot of hate right now because Billy Joe previously talked shit about this other fighter, Dave something, who got his eye broke, and Billy Joe was like, oh, hey, you go out on your shield, don't quit, whatever, talking shit, and then that happened to him, and he didn't go out on his shield, yada yada. So it's an interesting place because Billy Joe is now almost eating his words. I don't feel like he quit. I think the corner was looking out for him, and I understand a fighter's position to be like, oh, I'm going to go out on my shield and whatnot. But we've seen fighters die in the ring. We see what happened to Chris Weidman with his leg break. I mean, 2 different sports, but still.
But still, it's the same mentality.
Yeah, and it's like you're not just a fighter. You're also an entertainer, and you're providing for your family. Yes, you are a warrior. But
speaking of, that's actually a good movie. I literally just watched it. I literally just watched it for the first time.
Tom Hardy and
Tom Hardy and
what's his name? He's in so many movies, but I never
you know his face, but you can't know his name.
Joel Edgerton.
Maybe. See, I don't even know.
I think it's Joel Edgerton.
He's got the big lips and the I feel like I kind of look like
IMDb.
Well, yeah, there. Look like.
I don't know.
Yeah. You guys said Tom Hardy, Nick Nolte.
Yeah, but like that's how it is. Like that. Like those fighters. Like that movie really depicted that mentality of like going down on your shield.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like we breaking the lower bone and him going through. Like in Warrior popped his shoulder and he's like still fighting.
Give up.
Yeah.
And like oh my god, like 100% respect to that.
Oh yeah.
You know, like. But I also understand, like, if your face is broken, and if you want to live to fight another day, you know, where's the line where it's
Joel Edgerton. Yeah, Joel Edgerton.
So you're right.
Edgerton, yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy.
I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about this just because I don't want to like disrespect fighters or talk about their mentality just because it's like I haven't been there and done that.
Right. You haven't gotten to that level.
No.
Yeah.
Like no. It's I'm speaking purely out of my own perspective.
Yeah, and what if you like analyzed?
Yeah, and it's just like to me, it's like no, it's not worth it. You know, go home to your family.
Right.
You know, you guys put on a great show. It was a great competitive fight.
Right.
You held your own there for a number of rounds with one of the greatest right now.
Yeah.
So it's like I wouldn't have gone out there.
No.
You know, like it's like, dude, your face is broken.
Yeah.
I don't know what
that's
it. Like.
Yeah.
I've broken my ankle. That's it.
I haven't even broken a bone.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I've sprained bones.
It sucks.
Yeah, I've sprained both my wrists, both my ankles, but I've never broken a bone.
I think so when you sprain a bone, I don't know if that's like a correct way to say it because I think a sprain is more like the
bruising
tendons.
your bone and your tendons, basically.
Yeah, like the tendons, like
inflame and everything. Yeah, that's what it is.
And they say like sprains could be more painful than breaks, but I don't know.
No,
about
it's not.
that.
It's not
because that shit sucks.
Depends on the
breaks. Yeah,
maybe.
And pain tolerance too. But I think a sprain is less than a break because a break. That's continuous. A sprain eventually diminishes. Like a break, until that bone heals, that pain is still gonna be there.
Right.
Yes, but I think there's an element of shock when you break it.
Yeah.
And
that's why that's probably why people say it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah, where sprained ankles, there's no shock.
Well, I remember, man. I remember like my ankle rolled and then I fell on it.
Oh, and man.
Like, not only could you like. Probably anybody that was around me could hear it, but that sound I could feel it.
Yeah.
It was like like it was just this deep fucking.
Yeah.
And I sat there for a second, and I just the first thought I'll never forget. It was just like, this is going to suck, and there was this immense fucking pressure, like to where like it was almost like taking like air out of my lungs.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it's just this pressure and like I couldn't breathe.
Imagine.
And like I had these kids around me and they're like, are you okay? Are you good? I'm like, get the I couldn't breathe. You know, like, and then I was like crawling back to my house. And I walked into the living room. My mom was at the office chair at the time and I was like, Mom, I fucked up. And
How old were you?
I was a sophomore. This was the first day of spring break, my sophomore year.
Okay.
Nice.
My very first day. I fucking these kids. So I had a bunch because I was doing a lot of like short films at the time. So I had a bunch of these like prop swords and stuff, like foam swords, and there was a lot of kids. Some of my best friends, like their younger brothers, knew about this, and they come knock on my door. It's like Saturday noon. They're like, Zach, can we play with the swords?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, whatever. I've been sitting playing Skyrim all fucking day.
As you do.
They're like, Zach, play with us.
In the early 2000s, as you do.
As you do. And they're like, play with us. I'm like, all right. So we set up this game, kind of like Sand Monster, to where the cement is like lava, and there's like, so I have two different patches of grass, so it's like, and we have like two teams, and like we're basically just sword fighting. And it got down to me and my buddy Tyson. And I tried this Darth Maul flip thing to be cool and show off a little bit. And that ended up into the rolled ankle and falling on
breaking it eventually.
Snapping my ankle. So anyway, that's why all the kids were around me like, are you okay? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like crawling in the house, Mom, I fucked up. And she sits me down on the dining room chair, and all the kids run inside, and like I literally felt like I was gonna pass out.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
my
everything
vision,
was.
it was just
Yeah.
like it was a shock.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like there was this throbbing pressure. Like I can't explain
Yeah.
what that pressure
Yeah.
is. Like
Yeah.
it's just like something's broken.
Yeah. Something's definitely not right.
Right. Yeah. And like all this like chatter and shit. It's like, dude, I can't even
Yeah.
comprehend what's happening.
Yeah.
And then so we got some ice on it. She wrapped it up, and then honestly, the most painful part was actually like maybe 4 hours later, when I was just laying in bed, and once it's like, you know, like the trauma of the experience like starts to, you know, fade away, and I'm just sitting there. There was this just piercing. Just stabbing pain, and it wouldn't go. There's nothing I could do. I couldn't move because I'd make it worse.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, dude, it sucked. And like that was the moment I cried.
It just won't go away.
It just won't go away. And it was
Because
just
you
like,
thought the worst was over.
yeah. And that's when it started to look like black and blue. I wish I had a picture to show you guys.
No, please don't show me that.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Are
I'll
you
take
sure?
Your word for it.
I can pull it up right now. No, I can't. It's-
I'll take your word for it.
Oh, dude, it looked so gross.
Yeah, and then surgery, I imagine.
No surgery. No surgery.
Okay. Just cast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hard cast for about.
So it wasn't a
8
serious
weeks.
break, but definitely.
Not like it wasn't like a Chris Weidman sort of.
Yeah, it wasn't like a
Yeah.
compound.
No,
fracture?
and it wasn't like an open wound fracture.
Yeah, because that when I hear break, I think.
Yeah,
but
no,
that sounds like
so what happened is my growth plate snapped.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where the break was, and there's a chip in my ankle.
Which is crazy because as a kid,
Fell off.
that's usually the one thing kids usually break. 'Cause I had a friend who played baseball and he was running, he slid. I don't know if he slid or something happened, and he broke his growth plate in his knee.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since, his knee's just never been the same.
Yeah.
So it's like, holy shit.
Luckily,
That,
everything.
like, when you're a kid, your growth plate's just delicate.
Yeah. You know what's interesting too about my break, the way my body healed it,
Yeah.
is so in between the fracture, it just grew cartilage.
Yeah.
Which is why I think I'm so flexible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm a little more bouncy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I got
that
this.
makes a little bit of sense.
That's the way my body did it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like. I mean, that's the way the doctor explains. Like, so what your body's doing is it's growing in cartilage.
Yeah, because that's the best it can do. Because you can't regrow bone.
No.
But you can grow cartilage because that's just strong enough, like a joint.
That's what this is.
Yep. In your ears.
Yep. It's truly. I'm gonna give you
good
a
stuff. Yeah, it surprised me.
Sponsor of the video. Not anybody.
really, but yeah, I mean, shit, if you want to, yeah, we'll accept it.
Anyway, so that I snapped my ankle. How did we get onto me snapping my ankle? What were we talking about? Oh, the Canelo.
Breaking the. So you kind of know what that feels like in a way, but not on the face.
No. I mean, I just imagine, like, in a certain situation like that, with the amount of, like, eyes, because there's, like, 70,000+ people there. And like, the amount of adrenaline and whatnot, like, I imagine that maybe sort of distills the pain, or maybe even the shock, because he took it like a champ.
Yeah, because a lot of the adrenaline probably does come from the fans, too, because hearing that crowd yell at you like that, like, that probably pumps you up in a way. I don't know exactly because I never had that, but like it probably gives you some kind of energy.
Well, yeah, it's just like a musician, you know, on stage. You know, when they're playing by themselves, you know, a nice little tasty lick or piece of music, and then when they play as opposed to when they play in front of like a crowd, it's going to become much more lively because it's like, oh, you feel, you know, attention is a huge thing.
Yeah,
attention is very big. So maybe that's what kept him standing, and maybe that's what kept him to maybe want to continue, but at the end of the day, I in my heart feel like his corner made the right choice.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he's a quitter.
Yeah.
He put up a good competitive fight.
Yeah.
Honestly, the most competitive fight I think Canelo's had since, I want to say, Triple G or Daniel Jacobs.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean the last few opponents Canelo's fought,
he just knocked them out.
He just made him look so amateur.
Yeah.
Like and these are like top fucking dudes, and bigger than him too. Like, it's been a very strange spectacle.
Yeah.
Um,
And I just found out, like, 20 of his fights were in Mexico. So the U.S.
That's how he started.
Yeah, the U.S. didn't even know about this great champion.
Well, that's how Mexico is.
Yeah.
They're
He just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, their athletic commissions are a lot
Different,
looser.
separate, yeah.
hey
Well, because
guys,
you're knocking kids
bring
out.
the joy.
Right?
Huh? Bring the joy.
Oh, well.
Bring the joy. Oh, I just had these alarms set throughout the day that just give me little messages to remind me of where I want to be.
No,
or at least how I want to be where I'm at.
Okay, so be joyful.
Yeah.
Bring the joy.
Bring the joy.
Cultivate the joy, man. Yeah. So in Mexico, yeah.
Yeah, they have a different, like, regulation and all that, yeah. But that's what I'm saying, like, he came out of nowhere. You know, like, that makes him even, like, greater of a champion. That's what I love about him.
He's boxed so many fucking rounds, dude.
Yeah.
No. He has a up and coming opponent, Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
I don't think it's set in stone, but it's pretty much set in
Yeah.
stone. I really like Caleb Plant.
Yeah?
Sweet
I haven't
hands.
seen him fight.
Sweet hands. He only has 21 fights.
Oh,
but
okay.
he's a-
Probably, well, I haven't seen him really fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not into boxing like that. I'm in it when there's, like, a big name fighter, but, like, I don't watch, like, every fighter, you know?
Yeah. No.
Or, like, even when someone's coming up, you know, like, I don't know that shit.
And boxing too is harder to keep up with these days because you know UFC is just
blowing up.
It's stealing the
It's
show.
blowing up,
Yeah.
and honestly,
It's weird because boxing still makes the most money.
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah, go ahead, Yusuf.
Yeah, like, but I'm surprised though, because I was gonna say that, like, and honestly, good for UFC. Cause,
I think it's great.
Yeah, because they were underground for the longest time, and now they're getting their spotlight, and boxing had a spotlight since the beginning.
Shit, since the 20s,
Exactly.
the 10s.
That was basically the 10th. Yeah, like that was basically the first
20th
like
century
martial
we're talking
art that was a spectacle. You know, that was like publicized.
Yeah.
So
People all over
seeing
the world
MMA, seeing MMA, it's kind of like seeing like Jet Li's world. You know, like his world getting recognized. You know, so it's like okay, MMA, mixed martial arts, that shit's getting recognized.
Yeah.
So.
And one reason I think boxing still makes a lot of money, like you just said, it's like the entire world watches. Like even though in the U.S., like UFC is pretty much the main spotlight when it comes to combat sports, including boxing. Like boxing in like Europe, fucking huge.
That is true. Yeah.
Huge. It's like soccer to them. You know,
Yeah.
like boxing in other places of the world, not U.S., is just as big as like soccer.
Yeah.
Like that's why there's so
we
much.
call football.
Or football.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
The rest of the world calls it football.
Yeah.
It's just us.
Yeah, just us.
In South Africa. Maybe Canada.
No, South Africa
They
calls
call
it. Yeah, they call it football.
They call it soccer.
Do they?
Yeah, South Africa.
Because I know a YouTuber that calls it football.
He's
And he's South African, yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, if you
Fuck that guy.
yeah.
I think it's mostly because he's a travel vlogger,
Yeah,
so
so
like
he
he
knows.
just goes with it.
Yeah, the rest of the world calls it football.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, from my understanding, South Africa and calls it soccer and
Interesting.
And America and North America. Sorry.
So
United
just
States of America.
America.
United States of America and Canada.
Yeah.
So America.
Yeah, America,
How's
basically.
America on the whole?
No, because all of South America calls it.
Yeah, it
football.
calls it football. Yeah.
Damn it.
I don't know what Mexico calls it.
I think they call it football. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
Actually.
gonna look it up.
Look it up. Yeah, fuck it.
I'm gonna look it
Yeah,
up.
I actually don't know, but yeah, because I remember. I think a good example of it was a movie called Invictus where they talked about.
I remember that movie.
Yeah,
Is that
about
with Matt Damon?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. It was talking about like the South African rugby team and their relationship with Nelson Mandela, and they talked about how a lot of the black kids in South Africa they're like, oh no, we don't play rugby, we play soccer. I was like, wait, soccer? You guys call it soccer? It was like, yeah, apparently South Africans call it soccer.
Interesting.
Oh, Mexico calls it football.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes
So it's pretty much just South Africa and United States and Canada.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Which I would think Canada because they're French oriented, like their originality is French.
Well, I'll say
I
this.
think they would call it football too, you know? 'Cause
I'll say-
the French call it football.
Yeah, but French Canada is just the far east coast.
That's
of it.
right.
Yeah, it's just Quebec.
Yeah,
and
the
that's
further
it.
west you go, they're like, what's up?
Yeah, they sound
They're more like us.
Yeah, and they're I want to say technically England still owns that part of Canada. I want to say everything.
What currency do they use?
Euros, and they have their own Canadian currency, but they take both mostly.
Yeah.
And you can go there with American currency, but it's not necessarily recommended. They'll take it.
Because they'll beat you with hockey sticks.
No. No, I saw one video on YouTube where they were saying like every time they gave them American money, they kind of like, now we have to convert this shit.
Right.
Okay.
They gave them that kind of look like, ah, fuck you.
Yeah. I haven't been to Canada yet. Well,
me either.
I take it back. I went illegally. I went to I was in Montana and we drove.
This is on the pod, bro. We have 30 people watching.
Oh, so you pulled up that 70s show.
Oh, is that what they did?
You know that episode of that 70s show when they went to get the beer from Canada?
Yes!
Yeah, they crossed the border. What are you doing in Canada? What are you doing in Canada? Fucking Tommy Chong. I fucking love that dude.
Wasn't Eric Foreman hiding in the trunk or something?
No, it was Fez. No, it was Fez because he wasn't technically legal American too, so it's like he was definitely
straight illegal.
Yeah. I don't know 100%. Don't quote me on that, but like I don't know if that's actually the story because he has a like white family and everything, so I think they like adopted him or something.
Well, yeah, you know the fun thing about his name Fez is foreign exchange student.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clever little nuance.
Yeah.
In the show.
Yeah. And also that voice. He used to do that for his little sister to make her laugh. And when the producers saw that, they were like, keep doing that.
That's so cute.
Right? That makes me love him even more. Like, it's like, dude, like, that's sweet. You go make that voice for your sister just to make her laugh. And then, like, it just became a character.
That is so loved.
And it's in our hearts and everybody remembers.
It's beautiful. And that guy, I don't know if you guys watch this show, but the actor hosted a comedy thing called Yo Mama.
Wilmer Valderrama is the actor's name. Oh my god.
That was Fez, yeah.
Oh my god.
$5,000 of cash money.
Dude, my life is flashing before my eyes, dude.
Ooh, he was great on that show. Yeah, I miss Yo Mama.
The best joke on that. The best joke on that show, in my opinion,
was about
you're gay and your mama's a man. Or your daddy's gay and your mama's a man. And I was like,
my favorite one was a guy. He put on boxing gloves and like a boxing.
The knockout round.
Yeah, and he went. Float like butterflies, sing like a bee. I had sex with your mom, now it burns when I pee. Oh!
Yes. I used that so much in middle school. I don't know if you noticed that, but I used that a lot in middle school.
You use a lot of things.
I did a lot. I had a little bit of a joke.
In 5th grade, it was so stupid, but you came up with like this bitch machine. Like where you just like, I'm gonna be a bitch machine. It was so fucking stupid.
Yes!
But like, you got me into it. I was like, oh, we're the bitch machines.
Yeah.
Little 5th grade cocks. Just
oh my god.
Our pre-puberty.
Right.
We're already slaying the game by just not doing anything, playing handball.
Yeah, right, playing handball. Or the time where we like played dodgeball but lined everybody up against the wall. It was just a shooting range, basically.
Yeah.
Just a shooting line. Just
practice your shots.
There's nowhere to go, so you either duck or you dodge.
Duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Speaking of shooting ranges, hey, you guys like the Second Amendment? How do you guys feel about like more gun shit, like gun laws and whatnot?
I'm not for like banning guns because that's gonna like make everybody lose their minds. That's gonna cause problems.
Look at Australia.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, but Australia's not crazy like us.
Different wavelength.
They ban their guns and they're like, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
not.
We have other things that can kill us, so we can use machetes.
Yeah, that's not.
Australia should have guns because
they have so many other things to kill them.
Yeah. They got great whites. They got fucking gators. They got these like little tiny octopuses or octopi. that they look super
Even
cool.
spiders that are the size of fucking dogs.
Giant bird eater, whatever that fucking tarantula is. Like,
yeah, fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
And you step on one of their nests and it's just like, ah! And it just like clamps.
No, you just see giant mandibles. What the
Dude,
fuck?
their fangs are like that fucking long.
It's like 8 Crazy Legs or
8 Crazy Legs, yeah.
Something like that.
Or 8-Legged Freaks.
Yeah, 8-Legged Freaks, yeah.
Yeah.
Such an old movie. God damn, that was
It's so fun.
such a great movie.
Nightmares.
Oh yeah,
so
seriously.
fun.
It's probably the start of your arachnophobia.
I think so. You know, it's funny. My dad tells me that he doesn't understand why I'm so afraid of spiders because when I was a kid, I used to like pick them up and shit. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know that kid.
Who the fuck is that kid?
Yeah,
you didn't know
Are you sure that wasn't Chris?
I didn't know those were spiders. But apparently I did. Now I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, right?
Fuck no. I will say this.
I guess back then you didn't realize what they were.
Yeah, they just, I don't know what it is about them. It's just like the thought that they can like crawl on me like when I'm unaware.
Yeah.
And if they bite me, they possibly can take my life.
Yeah.
That just freaks me out.
Yeah.
And just the way they fucking move. Like,
Yeah.
Dude.
It's freaky.
Yeah, I remember I saw...
Drake, stop it.
Stop freaking us out with your spider talk.
Dude, he's not afraid of them.
He's not afraid.
We gotta ask this guy to kill all the spiders.
Yeah, I remember watching American Idol one time. There was a contestant who came up in like crutches, and like her leg had like bars going through it, and they're like, "Oh, so you don't mind us asking what happened?" She said, "Oh, I was bit by a spider."
Yeah.
I was, hell no!
See? And that's why we need guns to kill black women.
Kill the little spiders in our house.
Dude, I got a Gatling gun. It's just posted. I love Will
all
Ferrell.
for one little spider.
Thank you, Johnsons. We got them, and they're all dead.
Will Ferrell's tweet when this is a few years back, but he said, "Yeah, so there's a spider in my bathtub, so I grabbed a piece of toilet paper, and I slowly and quietly burnt my house to the ground." I'm like, dude, yes.
Yeah.
100%.
100% agree with that.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's an American right to. It's an amendment to have guns, and I feel like the certain places that have the stricter gun laws with more population are the places that have more crime.
Like gun violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the gun restrictions are for like school shooters and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because all the school shooters get their guns legally.
Yeah.
They get their guns legally. Yeah. You know, people are saying criminals are still going to get their guns. I'm not scared of criminals. Criminals aren't shooting at my schools.
No.
Criminals aren't coming to my house. Criminals are killing each other over crime. Yeah, they're not shooting up schools. It's the school is Billy down the street grabbing his dad's AK-47.
Exactly.
I'm more worried about than a criminal.
That's a good point.
And I'm for regulations just for that reason.
Right.
So how do we regulate? Because we already do have.
Yeah, let's totally write some legislator here.
Yes.
The lawmakers.
I like the idea of treating them like a car. You know, your car, you have to register them every year. You have to have mandatory car training. You have to pass the test. I think you should have that with guns. I think you should have mandatory gun training, so you're not just willy-nilly carrying.
Because gun lessons are not mandatory. Yeah, they're by choice.
Yeah, I think when people are trained with the gun.
Depends where.
That's true.
They
do
in California. In California, to be a legally owned gun owner.
Yeah, they do give you a.
You have to they give you like a whole pamphlet of how to use the firearm and yeah.
But that's different than gun training. Gun training is going to a range and hitting targets. You know.
Well, that's what they do in the gun safety course. Well, not necessarily. They just basically tell you the ins and outs of it.
Yeah.
Like, this is your safety. This is what not to do. Don't point your gun at people. There you go. Now you can go shoot animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I
hope that you're not like that one president that shot somebody. I don't remember who it was, or congressman or whatever. I don't know. Cheney maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. I'm dropping names. I
know they made a joke about that in the movie The Campaign
and Family Guy too. Yeah.
I'll tell you what's not safe. Going hunting with Dick Cheney. So, you all set to go hunting? Sorry, I thought you were a deer.
Yeah, but no, I agree with you. I think
the audience knows what I mean.
Don't completely just take away guns.
No.
But treat it like a driver's license
Yeah.
or a registered car. You know, it's like there's mandatory checkups and follow-ups to ensure that you're still a
some
responsible.
kind of insurance.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
And to piggyback off of that though, I would say background checks are deeper.
I'm fair with that too.
Like check the mental health of people more than
I've heard
just
this
if they have
times.
more than just the fact that they have a criminal record or not, because that's all they check. They literally only check if you've been to jail or not. And if you said no, which is most people and most people who haven't committed crimes for the first time, they're getting these guns to commit these crimes for the first time. So of course they're not gonna have a record.
I watched a backpacking off what you just said. I watched a Steven Crowder bit where he was talking literally just about that, and I forget if it was him or the person he was having a debate or conversation with.
Right.
Where they were like, oh yeah, there needs to be a deeper background check on mental health, and there's this whole issue going. There's like some sort of law or whatever saying like people can sort of like rat you out and say like, oh, this person isn't like mentally stable to do such and such. And I think it was Steven Crowder who was debating that, saying that's like unlawful because if this person just goes out and says like, hey, you're not fit to hold a firearm or whatnot. Like
I was literally gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I agree with that. Oh man, where am I trying to go with this? I'm just gonna I agree with that.
Yeah, you agree.
Yeah.
Because it's like mental health is a big problem in America. Like it's legit.
Probably the biggest.
Yeah, the biggest issue.
Yeah.
So that's why I say like we really need to regulate on that and like what you said like because I can understand that people like ratting you out and everything, but yeah, that's gonna be unlawful because who is it to them to judge this person? They could be completely sane, and it could be a spiteful person being like, oh, I don't like that guy.
Exactly.
I don't want him to have a gun, so I'm gonna say this shit. So that wouldn't be a factor, like, in my, like, scenario. Like, I wouldn't allow that. I would say, just full background check. If you've been diagnosed with any kind of clinical depression, you should be either watched or not have a gun at all. Because depression can lead to anxiety and can lead to so many other problems and it can trigger so many things to where they could use that gun against other people. In my experience, I've gotten pretty angry based off of my anxiety and depression, and I've wanted to fight some people. So, like, I can understand from that standpoint.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think there's also, like, an age thing, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what happened with that Kyle kid.
Yeah.
Who shot.
That was...
Because he was, like, 17.
Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah, but that was a different thing. He was doing it for the cause of being right-wing and everybody wanting Trump back and all that. Like, that was a whole different thing.
Yeah, I don't think...
In a sense.
He wasn't like... It wasn't like a mass shooting. Like, it wasn't like... I'm trying to go shoot up a school.
No, it was more targeted
specific
people.
No, it's not
so
even
that's not
targeted.
Necessarily...
He didn't target. He was... In a sense, he was protecting businesses. Like that's where his standpoint was because there's riots and
that's what and that's what he said. But when you look at it on the outside of it, like when you really look at it from like the outside in, he was exercising his thought of these people don't belong here, and yes, property was being destroyed, and yes, you should like the defense shouldn't come from the people; it should come from the property owners. And he took it upon himself to do vigilante justice and use his own personal views to fight back.
I see what you're both are saying, because you're like, he was defending himself and he was part of the protest, and you're saying, well, he went out of his way to protect property that wasn't his.
Yeah, he was an opportunist.
I will say this, in this sense, it's technically self-defense if somebody attacks him and he fires the gun. The problem is the counts are different. Some people are saying... he had a gun and someone else had a gun, he fired first, and people tried to stop him from firing, and he killed those people. It's weird, but in my opinion...
He was definitely being... I mean, I think he was dumb.
He was playing Grand Theft Auto.
But, he was being attacked at the moment where, the 3 people got shot.
Yeah, because of the skateboard, yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is, he wasn't from there. He literally traveled from another state to get there.
And that's what I'm saying,
with the gun.
Yeah. So his intention
are you
started out.
Yeah.
His intent. That's why I say his intention started out with his ideals. His mentality of, I'm a part of this right wing, or not even saying right wing. I'm just gonna say just agreeing with certain groups of people on what they're saying. Maybe Trump shouldn't be taken out, or these people shouldn't be protesting this certain topic. So he came there to do that, and then realized he was being attacked, and used the self-defense clause to protect himself.
Yeah. My thing is, I don't know if you're protecting yourself, you're going to another state with a gun.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounded like hunting.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I honestly thought that
he used the self-defense thing to try to protect himself, because his real intention was hunting. Yeah,
if you're going some other place with a gun, okay,
you have intention to use it.
I can understand if you're at your house or if you're at a property in the city, you just want to protect your city. But to protect the city you've never even been to, you know, from another state that you're not from, that sounded like hunting.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even know that he was. I thought he was from there.
No, he was from another state.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he came from another state to that.
Yeah,
because he knew
that's not cool.
Yeah, he knew the protest. Okay, if he was from there, okay, I can see this. But the fact that he went out of his way to go to that that rally or protest or whatever you want to call it, it's like it's like you said, that's vigilantism.
Yeah.
You know, it's the owner's job or the police's job
Yeah.
to do. If you're over there shooting at people, okay,
he's playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, then you're no different than the people who are there.
Yeah.
But I think he also knew he could get away with it, which he did. So,
He did. Yeah.
So
which is fucking terrible. You know?
Yeah, so that's why
it just shows further how our justice system is flawed.
This is a 17-year-old kid. Like, he's 17 years old, has an assault rifle. There's videos of him beating women. I don't know if you ever saw that video.
I haven't, but I...
Yeah, he got in a fight with a girl and was, like, punching her in the face. I'll put it in.
Yeah, we'll put it in. Yeah.
And she said, "We'll call the police." Yeah, punch that bitch. She will call the police. Ooh, move, car, move.
Oh, yeah? Oh, what? No, he punching a bitch. He punching a bitch.
It's ridiculous, but yeah, I think he's a separate case. He's not somebody who just wakes up one day and is like, I'm gonna snap and then shoot up a school. This was something
premeditated. Yeah, he was hunting.
Different. Yeah.
He saw people doing something that he didn't agree with, so he went out of his way to do something.
Yeah, like I disagree with the whole people doing the whole insurrection, charging the White House, but I wasn't like, here, let me go to that state with a gun.
Yeah, right?
No, like I would only be doing that if
that's not part of the solution.
Yeah,
no, that's why I said like he was going there with the intention to use that gun. Yeah. You don't have a gun unless you're gonna have the intention to use it. Yeah. I mean, I know this is kind of a little bit discrediting, but I saw it on anime, One Piece, where like that scene early on where he points at the red-haired pirate, Luffy's role model, and he said,
Shanks?
Shanks, yes. Yeah, so he was like, are you ready to put your life on the line? Because that gun's not a toy. You better put your life on the line. And the guy was like, huh? And then the other pirate, straight up, boom! Kills him right off the spot.
Damn.
So it's like, if you're going to point out a gun, you have to have the intention to use it. Yeah. So if he brought that gun with him, he had the intention to use it, and he did.
You wouldn't want something bad to happen, and I have just the man to deliver this message.
I'll blow your head off if I have to, but that's up to you, my friend.
Would you risk your life?
Huh?
Now that you've drawn your pistol, are you willing to use it?
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm saying that guns aren't for threats, they're for actions.
I I know that's like a law of the Wild West. They would say that like nobody brings a gun unless you plan to use it.
Exactly.
You know, I think in the Magnificent Seven reboot they said that. Like, Denzel's character showed up to a bandit, and the bandit's like, "Where's your gun?" And he's like, you don't bring a gun unless you plan to use it. I think there's some truth to that. I can't say if that's absolute or not. You know, like.
But it's a weapon that can end a life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to have the intention to use it. You have to have the intention to end a life if you're gonna own a gun.
My issue with
whether it be an animal life or a human life.
My issue with guns is that they have one purpose and one purpose only.
Kill.
You know, because I know people say, well, you can kill people with cars. You can kill people with a knife. You can kill people with a machete. Those have other uses. Machetes, cutting. Right. My dad was talking about he was in Jamaica and they didn't have gardeners. They had a guy with a machete and he was chucking bushes, like shaking. That's how they cut bushes with those machetes. So like they have other uses. You know, you butter bread with knives. You know, you go to work with cars.
You guys don't butter your bread with the SMG?
Dude, so I have a Facebook argument where I actually
just got a P90 just on your table, just boom, get some butter, just like put it on the end of the barrel, just pop, 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 pop.
I don't know what you guys are doing, fucking kooks.
I used that line in an argument, in a Facebook argument, because a guy said, "Yeah, well, guns are tools," and then my friend Derek, shout out to Derek, I'll tag you in this. He said, those tools only have one purpose. It's not like a knife that has multiple tools or has multiple purposes. Exactly. And then I went in and said, "What are you talking about? I always butter my bread with my P90." So you said that, but like I literally said that.
Oh man, that's great.
That was perfect. Great minds think alike.
Yes.
But that's my only issue with guns.
By the way, I think I just said a word that could be very offensive.
Uh-oh.
I think I said kooks. Is that like a bad word?
Depends on the context.
I gotta look into that. I know spook is racially.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say I'm sorry if.
I don't.
Like, when I said that, I was like, "Oh shit! Did I just?"
We can cut this out if it's not the case.
I don't think.
Yeah, we can cut this out. If
you just apologized for it already, so you're
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to address it.
Yeah,
really
if it's not the case, we can always cut this.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Spur of the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm highly racist, but I like to show it with my shotgun.
Well, another thing I'll say about weapons, or at least the Second Amendment, I know some people are saying that the Second Amendment's like outdated, like because the Third Amendment is you shouldn't quarter soldiers in your house. It's like that's pretty outdated. People were saying that the Second Amendment was. It wasn't for this. It was so the
British couldn't come in and take homes.
Yeah, that's what the Third Amendment was for. Yeah, they're saying the Second Amendment was so militias can form to fight the British Army because that's how we beat them.
Right to bear arms.
Yeah. It wasn't to defend your home. It was to fight the British.
Yeah.
And once we defeated the British, it's like okay, we're good now.
Yeah.
But,
and that was like 200 years ago.
Yeah. And they came back again in 1812, and same thing, militias formed. And again, use the Second Amendment for that. But that's what a lot of people are saying. The Second Amendment was to fight the British, not to fight our own government.
If you think about it in the context of when they wrote that clause, they were still in a war separating from the British.
Yeah,
so of course they're going to create that law democratically because that's their system, and then bring it into the public to use it. Now that we don't have that situation anymore, we don't have that stress anymore. We don't have to worry about the British already owns us anyway.
But let's put this.
We speak their language. We're obsessed with their royalty. We watch their BBC network all the time.
I feel like we're the monster that created that. Like when you create a monster that's bigger than you now. That's what I think we are. If that makes any sense.
No,
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I feel like after learning the history of America and learning the history of the UK. I feel like we were the assholes, and they kicked us out, and we made it seem like, oh no, it was our decision. But really, the Queen was like, fuck fuck you bitches.
Yeah.
You guys are annoying. You want to fuck each other and do all these weird ass fucking things and shoot guns. Fuck you, slaves. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
That's kind of what happened with the Pilgrims when they left. I mean, yeah, they said they left for religious freedoms, but you know they were kind of like.
I mean, most of England is Christian, so what religious freedom are you trying to get from?
Because there's a whole debates about different types of Christianity.
Exactly, the denominations. Yeah.
Yeah, they were the wrong type of Christian,
right?
So they had to leave.
But see, and that kind of diminishes that religion a little bit because it's like they argue of their own religion. Buddhism, they all agree. Hinduism, they all agree. Muslim, they all agree.
I disagree on Islam.
Islam, okay. Okay, so minus that one.
Yeah, minus Islam.
Yeah.
But all the other religions.
Yeah. But like, you get what I'm saying. Like, everybody all agrees. Like, Christianity is like one of the few that like disagrees from itself and branches off on so many things. Yeah. They don't want to call themselves pagan, but let me guess. I'm pagan in the Norse tradition, there's Celtic tradition, there's so many different denominations.
Yeah.
So Christianity is kind of branching off like a pagan religion, don't you think?
Yeah, there's so many.
Eurasian.
Yeah,
I had a little bit too much.
Yeah, but no, there's so many versions of it. Like I think about even Judaism, like. There's like a couple of like different versions. Like there's the Hasidic Jews where they wear the top hats and the curly, you know.
Yeah.
But even then, a lot
and
of
the Orthodox. And,
but even then, it's not so bad to where they're like yelling and arguing with each other or going to war with each other.
Exactly, they still have grounds to agree.
Yeah, they're just kind of.
Like all religions at the end of the day go to war with each other. Like, let's be real. Like that's how history is made.
I say Judaism's the only one that didn't.
Yeah, seriously, they're the only ones that really kind of stayed and stuck to their own, and when you're dead, and like that, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of too many Jewish wars necessarily. Unless we're talking about. Yeah, that wasn't a war.
That wasn't a war. That was just a massacre.
Yeah, it's not like the Jews fought.
Genocide,
the Germans.
Yeah. No, that was literally Germans just attacking them for no reason.
Yeah, and then they just died. Yeah. It was the other countries that came in to fight. Yeah. So that's why I say that I wouldn't really count that one.
Yeah.
Unless you want to count right now, like Israel and Palestine. But, But that's more Israel-Palestine as opposed to Judaism versus.
Yeah, and that's more over land too.
Yeah, that's more land than religion. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it started as a religious war.
No,
No?
I don't know.
It was more over land.
Yeah, it was more over land because they feel like I don't know exactly the area, like what country it's in.
But they just call it Israel.
Yeah, Israel, like Middle East. Like, they kind of, like, one side thinks the whole thing belongs to them, it's the promised land to them, and the other side thinks the same thing. So...
Yeah, it's basically when World War II ended, the Allies gave... They basically gave Israel to the groups of Jews that were treated like crap through the Holocaust, and they lived there and formed their own government. But they kicked out the Palestinians who lived there in order to do it. Yeah, and they've been fighting this whole time because the Palestinians were like, "Well, that was our home," and the Israelites who live there now are like, "Well, this is our home now. Our home was destroyed. It was taken away from us. What other choice do we have?" And so now they've been going back and forth. And then they're like, in 1,500 years ago, this was our land, and you guys came and took it from us.
Yeah, they're trying to get like real technical about it, and it's like it's just you're going in circles, man. Yeah. Just have the land for each other. Live together in harmony. That's what I always say. We're all the human race, you know? All we need is those tentacle octopus fucking aliens to come like an arrival and teach us all unity.
We need Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, the way I look at it, I see Israel is John Walker and Palestine is Carly Morgan. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I was really gonna say something like that. Like, they're displaced and they're trying to be like, wait a minute, like, we were here, we were just kicked out for a long time, and now we were allowed back into our home. Like, you guys just showed up.
Yeah, you just showed up, and they're like, well, we needed this place. You know, they have a strong sense of nationalism, just like John Walker. Yeah. They want to do the right thing, but they're going at it the wrong way. Yeah. And both sides, innocent people are getting killed. That's what I'm saying. I think
That's such a great, like, American way to think about, like, world conflicts. Like,
seriously.
Disney Plus. More.
Yeah, right. How do I understand?
Oh, John Walker. Okay.
now
I'm on it now.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people are very polarized on who to side with, Palestine or Israel.
I leave my hands out of it.
Yeah, it's too gray.
Yeah.
It's too gray. It's not Steve Rogers versus Red Skull. That's obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
This guy's a Nazi.
Yeah.
You know, if you're rooting for the Nazi, you're evil.
Yeah.
But this one, it's John Walker, Carlin Morgenthau, and both people are kind of like, man, I can't side with either of you.
Yeah.
Which is where I'm at.
Exactly.
And it's funny, like, I watched Biden's speech about it, and God, the man looks so tired.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even know what the fuck.
No.
So tired,
Like, he's just like, so we
just got here.
Like, he's like, we have, you know, the security state people. We have my guys. We're in talks right now, and the is it Palace? Palace? That's what we're talking about. Okay. It's just like
Palpatine.
This is our leader. Oh my god.
No, it's basically kind of like a puppet show in a way.
It's such
his
a puppet
his publicist is giving him the lines to say.
He's not running anything.
Yeah, well, I say he has a little bit of a say, but there's a lot more that he doesn't control. Yes.
Yeah, and there's not much you can do unless you send troops there. And if we send troops
because
there,
he still
war.
has the power to veto. So if he fundamentally doesn't agree with something, he can get rid of something. But for the most part, it's going to be worded in a way that he can agree to it. You know,
yeah. I think
that's what I've always been worried about.
I think he doesn't have much say on the whole Israel-Palestine conflict, because we're not really involved in that.
Yeah, we're not really involved, but everybody wants us to be involved because America, the world police, and it's like, no, we don't need to be involved in any of this.
Yeah, because they're both killing innocents.
Exactly.
So whoever you side with, you're going to be killing innocent people.
Exactly. So just let them figure it out for themselves. Support whoever you want to support. Like that's your decision.
Yeah,
give
aid to the people that are being affected by it.
That's fair.
Exactly.
But don't jump into the.
I'm like the Red Cross nurses. You know,
don't jump in the fighting.
Don't worry about who it is. Yeah, don't worry about who it is. Help whoever you need to help. If there's an injured person, fucking help them. You know.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and that's why this is kind of. To me, it's just with everything that's happened in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
With the world being on fire, both
Yeah, there was been a dumpster fire for sure.
Yeah, it's just I kind of feel like we're like a caterpillar in the cocoon, and it's just like things are just melting and certain constructs and ideologies and dogmas are being fucking forced into the public eye, and now it's just like, what do we believe? Who do we believe? Who do we talk to? What do we talk about? Sort of thing. And now with bombs going off and shit, it's just it's bringing. I think it's going to leave out a land of just new ideas.
Yeah.
And I this is a very heavy, dark time for everyone.
Oh yeah.
And it's very confusing. It's very polarizing. But I think at the end of the day, we're going to wake up and know what's good. I saw this video. I don't know what the guy's name is, but he seems to be some sort of spiritual teacher or wise man, whatever. And he says mankind has two ways to go. One is to obsess about the entertainment, which I think that word doesn't just mean like TV shows or whatnot. It also means just following, looking outward basically.
Attention. Yeah.
Right. Or mankind can do a deep dive inward.
Okay.
So the collective consciousness has been constantly going outward, and we have all this fucking chaos, But when we go inward, when mankind itself goes inward, that's where we will find, as a whole, real trajectory into, peace.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So food for thought.
Well, food for thought. Yeah.
Food for thought.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been dwelling on it just because, when I get off work, I just consume.
Yeah.
Consume entertainment, and like I said, entertainment has multiple meanings.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Just hearing words like that, it's a good redirect of focus that can inspire.
Right.
You know. And
kind of give you a little different perspective.
Yeah, and just like a glimmer of hope.
Right.
You know, it's just like, yeah, the world is fucking falling apart right now, and we got, Schmo Biden. Just.
Apparently, America just likes old people running the country.
that's every country.
Like, it's like apparently people in their 30s are dumb when I've met a lot of people who are very smart in their 30s and probably could run the country in their 30s.
Yeah, what do they say? They say wars are just young men dying for old men's insecurities.
Exactly.
I was like, yeah, that's.
Is that in Saving
I understand
Right?
that.
What movie is that in? Or is that just a saying?
I read it somewhere. I didn't see it in Saving.
Yeah, I vibe with that though.
Definitely in a movie, but yes, I vibe with it too.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. And so that's why every country. Like, you think about it, most places aren't run by old people because they feel like they haven't experienced enough.
Yeah.
Or young people haven't experienced enough to run a country. But in a way, the young people are more in touch with current society than I feel like the old people.
And nowadays, age is just a number.
That's true.
Have you heard that? Like that phrase going around like a lot of times.
Dumb old people.
Yeah,
think of right now.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like age is just a number, Yeah. So it's like, really, I have a lot of experience, and I've been experiencing that like situation a lot in my life lately. I mean, I don't tell people they're dumb. I listen to people, because I don't I don't assume people's experiences, and that's what old people do. They assume that you don't have an experience.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I see that too.
Yeah.
It's just because they've been around the block. They've seen and done what they've been through.
Yeah, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally respect that.
But I also get the pushback of our experience because it's like, hey, you're not respecting what I've been through.
Yeah.
Because they don't see that because
what you probably experience at 35 or 40, I experienced at 15. So, fuck off.
Yeah, and there are things that we've experienced that lots of people haven't experienced.
Yeah.
I think about, there's still people in my old neighborhood in Compton, they've never seen snow before. Things like that. And they're way older than me.
That was basically me, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, for the longest time, all my childhood, I've never seen snow, and it took till going to the mountains one time with Zach. And sure enough. And Patrick, yes, can't leave out Patrick, that great guy.
But that's what I'm saying, like, you've had that experience. There are people out there who've never had that experience.
Yeah.
They're older than you, and now they're trying to influence laws on you and shit like that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So I think that's an example. People never traveled before.
It's like somebody who hasn't driven in snow before, telling somebody who regularly drives in snow to put chains on.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know that.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, but I'm older than you, and you're only 20.
Yeah. It's like you've never experienced that. It's like, I live in the snow, bro.
Right.
Like, I know. Like, it's kind of that situation.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know how to manage money. Well, duh. But I'm working on it, and now I do know how to manage money.
Right. Right. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, just because you're older doesn't necessarily mean that you're wiser than someone else. There's some people who are more experienced that are younger than you that probably deserve positions of power more than you.
Yeah.
I'll give you another example, because another thing too is that there's like older people always like to give words of wisdom, even if they don't make any sense. And I'll give you a perfect example. I was working security at Cal State Long Beach's graduation ceremony, right? And I was going to school there at the time, so I dressed up in my security gear, but I brought my Cal State Long Beach hat. And some old dude who was working there came up to me and was like, hey, they'll kill you for wearing that hat. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, oh, well, we're not there right now, we're at Cal State Long Beach. But yeah, if we were at Cal State LA, yeah, they kill you for wearing that hat. I'm like, you really just say that? We're at Cal State Long Beach. I'm wearing a Cal State Long Beach hat, and you're telling me they would kill me for wearing this hat,
right?
Because you think we're at Cal State LA.
Yeah.
But he's older, so he just knows more, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I think that's an example of there's just some people.
It's like, this may not be the 80s anymore, bro.
Yeah. Just because you're old doesn't mean you should be just giving out wisdom.
There's a lot more acceptance in a lot of things, and there's a lot more like understanding through things like with younger people.
Yeah.
That old people just still haven't grasped.
Yeah.
You know?
And now I'm not saying there's it's all old people. There's a lot of old people who are very in touch.
Yeah.
Who are more in touch than a lot of young people.
Well, yeah. I mean,
there's you want to listen to.
Yeah. And I mean, like as an example, like in the LGBTQ community, like that, like older people, they know acceptance, you know, and that's why like I'm like that's the type of old people we need, you know, people who are open-minded. People who are accepting of whoever you are, whatever background you come from. But the people that we see on TV are all the people that hate on people of all kinds of backgrounds.
Well, they're just closed-minded.
Exactly.
But the number one thing, and this is sort of like a Native American philosophy, is like you always listen to your elders.
Right.
You know, just because like you know they disrespect you and they don't recognize your past or your experience. You can still learn something from them.
And that's why I say I respect their experience, you know, but I always have to say, like, you don't know my experiences.
I feel like it goes both ways. I feel like the older generation can learn something from the younger generation. I think anybody can learn from anybody.
Yeah. Well, like Einstein says, you know, the moment you stop learning is the moment you start dying.
No, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why, as young men, when we have, I'll say, ignorant, closed-minded older people, when they're you know talking to us in that certain way and they're making us feel a certain way, you know, it's like listen to that because now I know what I don't want to be when I'm them.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
And I'm learning, you know, so it's like, so they, like, it's sort of like, you know, life is like a play, you know, everyone wears a mask and everyone has a role to play, right? So these older people that are, you know, disrespecting us and our experiences or disrespecting cultures or walks of life, whatever, and they're not adapting, this is for us to consume and to learn from and observe, and that's the way we as young men take the next step forward, because we understand this is just not a good way to perceive the rest of life, and this is not a good way to respect, you know, other things, because at the end of the day, that's all they're doing. They're teaching us involuntarily
what not to do.
What not to do.
Yeah, and I get that, because it's like, there's times where you look at them and you're like, did you really just say that? You know, like they say something like egregious and you're just like, you can't say that anymore. Like, what do you mean? That's what we said back in my day. Well, that's not okay anymore. Like, it's like they learned a certain way, and as soon as they stopped learning, when you stop learning, you start dying. Like, when they stopped learning, they just held on to those ideas and they thought that was solid, whereas we're learning, oh, back in the day, E doesn't equal MC squared anymore, you know, like it's new, things change, science changed, health changed. Working out back in the 70s, or not the 70s, even earlier than that, was just a vibrating belt.
Yeah.
Now we have bear claws and kettlebells and full-on workout sets.
Yeah, we have gyms. Gyms
didn't exist.
In like my grandfather's days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my dad, he said gyms didn't come around until he was like high school and college.
Yeah, exercise wasn't a big mandatory thing because they didn't think about that.
Right.
So when you think of the progression of like humanity, we as our generation are learning nuanced things that the old generation doesn't really get, you know, because they never experienced that. They never thought that would be the way to go. They thought, oh, I need lard, I need salt, I need sugar. But then now we're saying sugar's bad for you and lard is bad for you and you need to work out and eat healthy, and you know, like it's a complete polarizing opposite.
Right.
And it's like we need to kind of walk away from that old world. Yes, I get what you mean, like learn from that and everything, but at the same time we kind of need to just put that in the museum and continue the proper way of living, you know, like improving ourselves rather than staying stagnant like anybody from before the 90s, basically.
And I feel they always say, you know, learn your history so it doesn't repeat itself.
Exactly.
these people who lived the history are staying in that ways, well, then that means it's repeating itself. Yeah, if you're just going to stay that way, then yeah, it's just...
You're going to repeat your history. You're going to repeat the way things are.
Yeah,
Circles,
so you have
they
to
grow and they swallow people whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
That's why I look at the way time and life is, like the Doctor from Doctor Who. Timey, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. There's no circle, it's just all over the place.
Jeremy Sparrowby. From The Good Place.
Yeah.
Why Jeremy Sparrow? I don't know. It's just the name we sort of have to contemplate the universe and the structure. What's the eye above? What's that dot? He's like, oh, that's Tuesday.
That was the greatest. Oh man, I gotta rewatch that show. That was a great show.
It's good. I tried it a couple times.
Of course.
And the fourth season. Yeah, the fourth season had a slow brew for me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit happen in my own personal life that.
Right, kind of vibe with it, yeah. Like you can
like
relate.
Timing is everything, right?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. But, respect your elders.
More of that tangent.
Yeah.
Listen to that tangent.
Respect your elders. The most important thing here is listening.
Yeah.
Listen. And find your ground that you can plant your feet in. And yeah, like
I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just gonna keep saying it. Yeah.
That's it.
No, I get what you mean though.
That's it.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, it's like, yeah, listen, learn from history, but also improve upon history.
That's
because
cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Because it's like we can always learn from history and then keep repeating the past. But you gotta learn from history and improve upon it. I mean, shit. Just 50 years ago, we didn't even fathom going into space, and then 20, 30 years ago, we went into space.
Well, dude, I mean, just think about our cell phones. Like, if
Or not 20 years ago, that's 2000. Yeah, I'm thinking like 60s, so that's like I don't even know math, but still, you know what I mean. We went into space and we didn't even fathom that
80,
at one point.
80 years ago, right? 70.
I was gonna say like 70, but you might be ready at like just about 80.
Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, you're right about it.
But like,
70
if you went back
years,
in that time,
Yeah,
if
like-
you went back in the time and said like, hey, so get this idea. Imagine everyone has like a device that can communicate to each other without strings or wires. Like, I send a message, not handwritten, type it in, and I shoot it up into space, and this metal object in the sky, not even in the sky, above the sky,
Out of the planet.
out of the planet, shoots it to that person I'm directly messaging to, and they get it in seconds.
It'll blow their mind.
They're like, whoa, acid is awesome!
They're like, oh man, you've been tripping on some weird shit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but that's some crazy fucking shit that's never existed.
And here we are.
And here we are.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you think about it, you gotta improve upon history. Like you look at the past, you see what's going on. Whether you agree or disagree, you have to improve upon it.
Yes. And I think, like with all this shit going on in America, with the Black Lives Matter, all the police protests and stuff, I to me in my heart, I disagree with like the rioting and whatnot. But I do think it is important, especially with in George Floyd's case, the cop actually getting sentenced.
Yeah.
And he was guilty on all charges. I think that was a very important step, because we saw what happened with the Rodney King situation, and when that
nothing happened with that, and it's
and then fucking LA was on fire.
Yeah.
So like in terms of like social and cultural progression, I think we are on a good path, or at least the right path. I think we're taking baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. I'm not a fan of the riots either. I'm a fan for the protests.
Yes.
But I feel like the riots and the looters, they diminish the protests.
It depends. Like the looters, yes. property is property. There's insurance for a reason. But looting, yes. Don't take product.
Yeah.
Smash a window, express your frustration. Looting is opportunist. But
yeah, because people are coming from like.
I'd have to
cities.
say that, yeah.
Yeah, because I was saying in Long Beach, there are people coming from other cities to loot from Long Beach, and then the protesters had to come in and say no looting, no. Like the protesters shoot away the looters.
The protesters started protesting the looting.
Yeah, honestly, So I don't like when people try to mix that all together.
Yeah,
like,
I totally
oh,
agree.
they're all rioting. It's like no. There's rioters, looters, protesters.
Yeah, I totally
for the
agree with
protesters.
that. Yeah.
But what I will say about the rioting is I hate that it's effective.
Yeah.
It works.
It works.
I hate it, but it works.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
The only way we can get our voice across is by shoving it down their throats with fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
How do you think America was made?
Yeah, that was a big riot. Yeah, the Boston Tea Party was
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, and people talk about like, well, what about Martin Luther King? He didn't hurt anybody. He didn't get violent. He didn't protest or anything. I was like, yeah, you want to know why it worked? Because they had video cameras videotaping dogs eating those people alive while they're just trying to vote. While policemen are beating them with batons while they're just trying to vote.
It was
and
a simple action.
Firefighters are blasting water hose at racists.
Yeah, and all they want is the same.
Vote.
Yeah, to vote and to drink from. Not even barely. They didn't even They didn't even decide to like drink from the same water fountain and all that. Like they just wanted to vote. They just wanted to be seen as like people.
Yeah, it's human.
Yeah, and it's like. Dude.
Yeah, and the reason there was change, it wasn't because, it wasn't even necessarily because Martin Luther King was so non-violent. It was because of the violence.
Yeah.
The whole world saw how awful these people were treating human beings. Like they were trash, like they were dogs. And that's what got changed, was the violence.
Yeah.
So I hate it, but that violence shit works.
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem, yeah. The fact that we have to go that far.
Yes.
We should have to only say, we are struggling, please help us, and they help us.
Yeah, that should be enough.
Yeah.
You know, you talked about Rodney King and how the riots didn't happen until after they got the innocent verdict. What would have happened if the riots happened before?
Exactly.
You know, the Chauvin trials with George Floyd, the riots happened before.
And
he's innocent. Some people are saying he's
don't
guilty,
like to but I don't like to say that it influenced it, but at the same time we don't know. Yeah, we don't know.
We don't really know.
Did it influence it?
I think it did.
A part of me, there is a little bit of me that says that it does, because we live in an influential world where social media pretty much dictates the trends, the speech, everything is heightened.
Yeah,
so,
if that girl didn't record the whole thing, this wouldn't even be a thing. He'd just be dead and that's it.
Yep.
Talk about like, hey, back 50 years ago, my whole spiel like, hey, we're gonna have these devices.
Yeah.
This device wasn't even relevant.
Yeah. Think of how many lives were lost back then compared to now.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some change, but it's still rough.
Yeah, and
of course.
Yeah, and I do think, you know, my dad, when he talked about Rodney King and when that happened, they saw it as finally that got on camera.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. They've been doing this to us all the time.
Yeah.
You know, every black man my dad's age has a police story of violence. They all do.
Yeah.
And
whether
they're criminals or not, they all have one. They all have a police beatdown story. That's just kind of how it is.
Greg, the worst of all. Look how black this guy.
I know.
The man is made of pigmentation.
Melanin,
whatever it is.
Yeah, he just be so bad. He just practically became a training dummy. He's a big wrestling beat up dummy.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say something.
Safe Raptors.
Yeah.
But you know, he has a story, and when it finally got caught on camera, he was like, "Finally, you get to see what we've been going through all the time." And then when they said he was innocent, it was like, "Wow, it doesn't even matter."
Yeah.
And so that's why it's good to what do they say? Like we said earlier, learn your history so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
I think we learned our history in this sense, in that.
That's why I brought it up, just because like there is progression.
Yeah, because
there's more awareness and
because I mean even Trayvon Martin his killer was seen as innocent.
Yeah, he got away with it.
Yeah, he got away with it. So it's like since then and even beforehand, you know, like like it's been shaky. So now seeing this, yeah.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. I hate that it had to come to freaking riots to
Yeah.
get there. And I don't know if they influenced. I think the riots influenced the Detroit police not backing him up.
Yeah.
If you watch the trial, the police
I
were
get
like,
that.
nope,
I
he
can
did
see
not
that.
do this. He did not follow procedures. He did not. They were very much like, nah, he did not do what he was supposed to do. I think part of that was like, I'm not trying to have no more riots over this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I want the country to sleep well tonight.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just, shit's been crazy.
Yeah.
I see that.
I think that influenced the police's decision to not back Chauvin in that scenario.
I see that.
But the rest of it, I don't know. It's up in the air.
Yeah.
I will say this: we all know that if he was found innocent,
L.A. and Long Beach, all of America would burn.
Dude,
all
even
of America
Australia
would
would start.
yeah.
No, seriously, because we had a worldwide protest for that shit. Like France was on our side, UK was on our side. Like it was nuts.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If he had been found innocent, oh my god.
Yeah, no, the world would definitely have gone to hell.
Dude, I literally, I remember,
war.
I remember watching, like, I got home from work, and my folks had the whole jury session or whatever you want to call it, and I literally just laid down and just kind of held my pillow tight, just because it's like, dude, there's literally 3 words this judge can say right now that will completely change everything.
Yeah.
If it goes this one way,
yeah.
If it goes this way, oh fuck!
Yeah.
Here we go!
Yeah.
Bombs going off, man.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, a part of me feels like they knew they had to do it, but I mean, rightfully so. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like
no, it was the right thing to do.
It was.
It definitely was the right thing
It
to do,
was.
but historically speaking, you'd kind of like have this thought in the back of your mind, it's not going to go the way that we want it to go.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
That's why I literally just laid down and went, okay.
Yeah, that's why, because I was just like...
rolling the dice here.
Yeah.
I'll admit, I was like, it did feel like, when I found he was innocent, or found guilty, I literally went,
yeah.
Exactly.
I literally did.
When I saw that news article, because I didn't watch the trial or anything, but when I saw the news article, I was just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, finally we can have some kind of like breath.
Yeah.
It's just like, alright, we don't, like, it's...
Our justice system may be flawed, but
it
at least
came
there's
through.
heart in some people.
It won today. Is how
it won today,
is.
yes.
It won
Exactly.
Today. We'll take that. Yeah, and we'll take it. We'll take it. There's another thing I was gonna say. The other thing too was afterwards then it kind of became funny. Then there was memes about it.
Yeah.
You know the memes.
There was tons of memes about it.
Yeah, the one
I
where
was
it's
looking
like,
on Reddit and there was
yeah, the memes were great. There was one where it was like what was it when you fuck around and find out, and it shows a picture of Chauvin like.
yeah, it's just that deer in the headlights face. Yeah, that was hilarious.
That fucking guy, man.
Yeah.
Like it was. There's something eerie about watching it and just watching him.
His reaction.
Because I was trying to put my head or my mind like in his headspace of just like the amount of pressure.
That'd be hard for me to do. After watching what he did, putting my mind in his after I just knew.
No, yeah, I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah, because I would have fallen on the sword. I would have been like, I did that.
Yeah,
I should have done it. It was wrong.
And he's just like,
stone faced the whole time.
Yeah, that.
I think he's on the brink of fucking crying or something. But
like one word out of his mouth, tears.
Yeah.
But he's just like even when he got
arrested. Yeah, they picked him up and.
It's just fucking. It's like, dude, you're literally going to die in prison.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. That shit weirds me out.
I think they'll protect him in prison. That's usually what happens.
That usually happens. Usually when like people of high like
shit like that.
Yeah, they get a little special treatment.
I think he'll be protected.
I like to think Orange is the New Black is a little bit accurate. When that like famous like cook lady got arrested and she was in her own room and everything. Like I kind of feel like that's like.
Yeah, I heard Martha Stewart was kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's what they're mocking in that episode or that show.
Yeah. And like the whole drug lord shit, like Pablo Escobar or whatever.
Yeah, sure,
When they got arrested, like they literally just
They
had
built their own.
hookers.
Yeah, they built their own prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, they built like their own club inside the prison.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna get that sort of treatment.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine.
No, but he's definitely gonna be in his own bunk. He's the way that I feel like how cops these days protect cops. I feel like they're gonna the guards of that prison are gonna protect him regardless.
Well, I think cops are different than the people that.
It's not.
Police security.
Yeah,
I think it's different. I think it's different.
It's pretty similar.
Not prison. I meant to say a prison security.
Prison guard.
Yeah.
Prison guard. Yeah.
Prison guard is. It's pretty different.
Because they're not out here patrolling and making arrests.
So it is different.
A little bit.
You said it's pretty different.
A little bit,
That's
yes.
what I was saying.
Yeah, but it is because I thought about because I kind of thought about it, and it is a little bit, but it's more of a sense of responsibility. It depends on the person how their sense of responsibility is, because when it comes to cops, they're like the Wild West of security in the country. They have regulation, they have rules, but it seems like they kind of bend them at their will and get away with it. When it comes with a security guard out of prison, if they fuck up, they're out. And I've seen that in reports and just random.
I thought you were gonna say and I've seen that in Orange Is the New Black.
That too. Yeah, because there was actually a scene in Orange Is the New Black where a inmate was killed by a knee on the back and they couldn't breathe.
Ooh.
So kind of going off on a tangent here, seeing that scene and thinking of that scene, what if he saw that scene and was like, oh, I could do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just a little tangent. But yeah, but I've seen in reports and in articles on line of guards telling their story of what it's like in prison, and a lot of them are very genuine people. They help the prisoners. They give them some food. They give them some space. If they have some problems, they'll help them. They're oh, here's this counselor, or okay, if you're having these problems with these people, we'll schedule you to come out at these times. I've seen all these reports, so it's that's where I kind of I'm 50-50 with what you say. They're similar, but they're different.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, they're caring, but but at the same time, there's also guards that straight up beat the fuck out of inmates.
Yeah.
So when it comes to cops, they're gonna protect the cops. They're gonna protect their own.
I see what you're saying.
But when it comes to inmates, it's 50-50. But when it comes to cops, they're gonna protect their own.
Yeah, I think the prison system will protect Chauvin, but if Chauvin's ever out there by himself, that's gonna.
If he's on the yard, if he's on the yard of Gen Pop, but I don't think they're gonna put him in Gen Pop.
No,
they're never gonna put him in Gen Pop.
They put him in Gen Pop, it's done.
Yeah.
He ain't nothing.
Yeah, that's why I say he's gonna be like Orange Is the New Black. He's gonna get his own little room, maybe with his chosen roommate. He's gonna feel okay, this guy is only okay, he didn't do anything violent. Okay, yeah, choose him as my roommate, kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't think. Yeah, if I don't think they'll put him in general population because if he's there,
he'll get killed right away. Yeah.
People will be like, hey, let me go to jail so I can't kill you.
Exactly.
That's that kind of crap. So, there's people who got life in prison there, so they got nothing to lose by killing you.
Exactly.
So, I don't see that happening to him.
Yeah.
The only ones that always get killed is pedophiles.
Yeah.
Because they're not protected by
anybody.
They're not protected by anybody. They get put into general population.
Which
and
is right. I agree with that. Fuck the pedophiles. Just beat the shit out of them. They do not deserve to have a comfortable life.
Yeah, and and hearing the testimonies of the people who've already had life in prison, and they're in jail, they're so what? He's I killed him because he was a child molester.
Yeah.
I killed him because he was a pedophile.
If he's an adult and makes the decision to go after children, fuck you.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. So legally it's wrong.
Ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're an adult, you should know better.
Yeah, because I feel there's some things that are justifiable. call me what you want. I think rape and pedophilia is worse than murder.
It is. It is.
Because there's some justifications to kill
I agree with that.
I think there are. Like let's say Nazis are invading Poland. Okay, yeah, you might want to go over there and kill some Nazis. I think that's necessary. But let's say
Nazis.
Yeah, let's say Nazis are invading Poland and you go over there and rape them. What? No, that's not justified.
No.
Yeah, I go over there and molest their children. There's no justification for that.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's worse. And so, there's no way to justify that kind of crap.
Yeah.
You could probably justify it.
They do. There are certain studies that say like pedophiles in certain cases it's like a mental illness or whatever.
A lot of people say that, but I think that's just more of a scapegoat.
Yeah,
and it very well could be.
Yeah, it's more of a scapegoat. If you have a kink that is children, that's wrong. Like straight up, like there's something.
And we're not talking about children like oh you're like 26 and a girl might be 18.
No, it's literally like 40-year-olds going after like 10-year-olds.
Yeah, not some tiger shit.
Yeah.
Even though I think that's nasty too.
Yeah, no, we're talking about R. Kelly.
What did Andrew Schultz say? He's like, okay, so 18, barely legal, but when they're 17, they're barely illegal. It was like a funny, stupid little joke.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz hits those notes. I love it.
It's funny.
Yeah, and if you go to Europe, 16 is the
consent. Yeah, the legal consent. I'm like, you're backwards.
Yeah. So.
Hey, but they be doing something different out there. Like it's shit grows different out there,
Tiger flew his girl out there so he could smash. It's just so damn. You think I'm joking? That's true.
That's some GI shit though. Like,
no, that's nasty.
It's nasty, but at the same time, it's like I'm gonna fly this chick out to somewhere that allows me to do it.
Yeah, that's
like if you're driving up to a girl's high school to pick her up, you should be questioning your way of life.
Yeah, especially if you're our age. And I always felt like I remember thinking about when I was a senior. And like I remember, what was it? I had a friend who was, when we were juniors, was dating a guy who was a senior. We all graduate, right? Or he graduates.
Yeah.
We move up a grade. She's a senior now, and he's in college, waiting outside the school to go pick her up. I'm like,
that's
a bad look.
Bad look.
They're the same age. They're both 18, so it's fine. But that looks so weird.
Yeah.
You're just pulling up. You're just chilling, kind of, and picking up your girlfriend from high school.
I would wait across, like down the street a little bit. Yeah, like I would wait like around the corner. Text my girl, be like, "Yo, like I'm here," but like. Yeah, like same age, I can see that. Like that's not necessarily weird, but it's a bad look.
It's a bad look.
It's a bad look. If they started dating in high school and then and he was,
yeah,
it's just
it's more of like
I get why
if you're in college and you're dating a freshman in high school.
Okay, if you're already in college and you meet a girl who was in high school and you try to date her,
you are hungry.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
You're hungry.
You are thirsty as fuck.
You are so fucking thirsty.
That's weird. That's what
your belly's growling. Like, dude, you're not scoring with any of the chicks in college, so it's like you.
No, that's
what it is. When you're such. Yeah, remember being in high school and be like a freshman or something, and there'd be a girl bragging about how her boyfriend's in college, like she's proud of it, and we're like, you realize you're dating a good guy who's so good that he can't get anyone in his own grade, he can't get any adult, so he has to revert to dating a freshman in high school.
Because he knows it's easier.
Yes, congratulations, you're dating a pedophile.
Yeah,
like, why are you bragging about that?
Yeah, I knew somebody in high school that was just like that. They were dating someone that were like, they were in like sophomore year and they're dating someone that was like 24.
Yeah, they're bragging about it.
Yeah, they're bragging about it. They're like, oh yeah, that's my sugar daddy. I'm getting all these rides. I'm getting all this food, all this jewelry, and I'm like, he's technically a pedophile, right? And they like she started thinking about it, and she's nah, that's not it. Like we like each other a lot, and I'm like,
no.
Watch how long this relationship lasts. Yeah. And then like looking back, like I talked to her later on, I was like, looking back at it now that you're over 18, look back at it and think about it. Yeah. He's a pedophile.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So I just got hit up from my freshman girlfriend.
Boy!
So they got out of school like at 2:40 6:40 and 6:43.
You're supposed to pick her up, like...
Totally forgot. Shit, sorry.
You got any flights to France?
No, guys. Hey, have Paul in your prayers. He's feeling really nauseous right now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. Is that who said that right now?
Yeah, because he was gonna come over to my house to watch some of the UFC fights.
Oh, okay.
He said. Okay.
He usually is nauseous.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know Paul. He was on our show.
Yeah.
Keep him in your prayers. Keep him in your thoughts.
He has cancer.
Yeah. If you haven't been following along,
Yeah, he's joked about it in our podcast before.
Yeah, but it's some serious shit.
It's
so,
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not feeling too good right now. But yeah. So keep him in prayers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to turn away from the pedophile.
I think that was a good thing, though. Honestly. No.
It's like, guys, this our buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been yeah. So this was sort of shoot the shit. What name did you?
Just riffing.
We're just riffing.
We're just riffing.
And we went from ankle breaks
Yeah.
to I think we talked a little about Loki. And then we got into
Like some political stuff.
which ended into pedophiles, which actually those two kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So that segue actually makes a lot of sense. And then we got Paul, last little moment.
Yeah, he still found a way to get in the podcast.
Yeah.
He wanted to be here, but Greg is such a fuck.
Greg had to be here, man.
He had to be here, and he's gonna be here. There's no way of getting rid of him. Oh, and we also talked about like listening to our elders.
Some insightful things. We had
There's some insightful.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
Some good nuggets. Yeah.
Yeah.
All around great podcast. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
That it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And I think so.
So thank you guys. Thank you everybody. Watching, sticking through us.
Happy campers.
Rambling.
Yes. Go have a little ramble yourself. But make sure she's over 18, okay? Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us with this episode of Extra Salty Popcorn Podcast. We're the... No, I'm not going to say it.
Okay, that's it. Probably for the better.
Yeah.
If you have to second guess it, it's probably for the better.
Well, I thought, there was a moment in the podcast where I thought I said something very racist, a term, but I don't think it was.
We'll cut either part out, yeah.
Yeah, or we'll keep it on and let you decide.
Right.
Be gentle. But yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have yourselves an amazing weekend. 56 seconds left. Oh my God. All right, bye guys.
Bye guys.
You ain't even gotta get that violent. This is just Lil Wayne's stepkid. He was signed to Young Money, but that's not the only thing young that he mess with.
I mean, but I'm saying, check this. I don't really want to know about this and this, but when you and your girl go on trips, do she gotta sign a permission slip?
Hold on, no wait, that's true. I mean, cause we do know with them teens, you get it in. You gonna be at her senior prom looking like a senior citizen.